We're going to read source 2 for this investigation. It's titled Madison's Notes. First, let's remember what the central question is, because that's our purpose for reading this source. Would the founders have approved of executive actions concerning DACA? So let's read the attribution and then the headnote, because that's where you'll find out who wrote the source, when it was written, and what type of source it is. Attribution. Text adapted from James Madison's notes, titled The Debates in the Federal Convention of 1787, written on June 1st, 1787. Headnote. The Constitutional Convention was 4 months long. During these meetings, James Madison wrote down what delegates said and debated. These debates formed the U.S. Constitution. Each name below is followed by what that person said about executive power. I'm going to pause here. Take a moment to answer these questions about the headnote and the attribution in your packet. So pause and come back when you're ready. Okay, now we're ready to read the source itself. Let's read Madison's notes. Mr. Pinckney agreed that an energetic executive, which is a president with powers, was important. But he was afraid that the Congress might have powers to decide about peace and war. This would turn the executive, which means the presidency, into a monarchy. Mr. Rutledge said he did not want to give the executive, the president, the power of war and peace. Mr. Sherman said he thought the executive position, which is the presidency, would only be an institution to do what the legislature decides, because the legislature decides what to do based on what people want. Mr. Wilson thought the only executive powers, which means powers of the presidency, are to make sure the laws are followed and appoint officers that the legislature has not appointed. Mr. Madison wanted to change words in the draft constitution. After the words that a national executive, which means president, should be elected, he added the words with power to implement the national laws, to appoint officers, and to execute such other powers not legislative nor judiciary. Okay, go back and read the source yourself, and pause after each sentence to think about what parts of the source tell you what the founders think. Focus on the words agree, think, and wanted or did not want, and say.